what's next for the Suns, and mainly what's next for Deandre Ayton? He asked for that big contract. He kind of, like we were talking about, betting on himself going into the season. And Rob's famous saying, he really shit the bed on this one.
Damn,
he
bro.
had to throw the whole mattress away. It was that bad.
It's crazy because right before the season, he was talking about a contract, talking about a big one. We have a past video really talking and getting into it just because hasn't really been showing aggression. Doesn't have that many free throw attempts.
He's not dominant.
You had opportunities this postseason to really show out against a Defensive Player of the Year, a former one.
Against Jonas Valanciunas, my guy. He got 20-20 on your watch, Deandre Ayton. Like, come on now.
He had a lot of opportunities, and I don't think that he really cashed in on them, literally. So, Steven, let's start with you, man. You had a lot to say about these Suns and what they are, and honestly, they took a step back this year. Why did they lose in 7 games at home?
I'll put it this way. I can't say they took a step back because, to me, they made it last year, but they weren't the favorite to me to get back this year. I'm sorry. Like, they were kind of just default because everyone was unsure of who was coming out of the West, bro. That's what the default answer was. They're the same team. Overrated.
Yeah.
Because
they
they can run through.
I was about to
They
touch
can
on
run.
right?
They can run through some injured teams in the playoffs, and okay, that's cool. But all the fully healthy teams they played were giving them hell. Even when they got to the Bucks, fully healthy, they couldn't do nothing.
You would
with
expect,
that.
and I think a lot of people expected the Pelicans not even to get one.
Yes, bro.
They played a semi-healthy. Well, I would say healthy because everybody that was playing throughout the season, they came back. They played a healthy squad that was playing all year, but they still didn't have Zion. So how could that have changed out? All that, all this. I'm just saying. I think that you're right that with these unhealthy squads or
but even
bad chemistry all the way in Utah, it's
even
tough.
even with the injury thing, like, bro, it's still the Pelicans. You're still the number 1 seed. Any other day, we're saying the 1 should be beating the 8. And that game, that was borderline
playing,
7 games. They could have definitely went 7.
Yeah, Jason Kidd really got them boys amped up.
He
wanted to
did.
just kick their ass,
Bro, on one play where they're showing Jason Kidd on the sideline mic'd up, it was on a play where the Mavs are on defense too. Jason Kidd's yelling at them the whole time. Yeah. And the energy you see him yelling at them with,
like
it's exactly how they're playing.
Yeah,
that's exactly how they're playing, bro.
Again.
The Suns didn't even look like that. They looked out of themselves.
Well, one part that changed in the series was that once they were down, I think 2-0, they had the Mavericks stand on the bench the whole entire game. Yeah. They never sat down. So you're talking about, energy. Even his post-game thing, where they had, like, the speech in the locker room, he was just kind of preaching the same type of thing, like, we believe, so on and so forth. Who's tired right now? You know what I mean? So,
well, he showed who tired today.
Man. With the Suns, though, man, it seemed like they expected to win. And then when the Mavericks came out hungrier, we're back at our home court. Yeah, we're going to win for sure.
I think Steven talked about it last pod when he was just like, the Suns are really arrogant and entitled after the first trip to the finals, and it came to bite them in the ass round.
They were that all year. Yeah. They did that all year, too.
Yeah, they felt, we're 60 wins, we're getting disrespected, and like he is sad, bro, and they just came in arrogant and entitled.
I think this says a lot about Devin Booker, too.
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul is
it's like
old age. Some shit happened to him. We said it at a certain point in the pod that, like, so Chris Paul gets him to a certain way because he changes the culture, and now it's just wherever Book leads them, right? When they lost Book, that was of a big deal than losing Chris Paul in the middle of the season. I know regular season is not as big as like postseason, but they were able to still man the shit while he was gone.
I understand what you're saying. You're talking about from a production standpoint. I'm saying
like even disappointment thing, like one's a legacy and one's like I expected you to do something. You know what I mean? The other one is just
Paul
a story.
Is supposed to be mentally a leader. He did not look like that today.
Is he?
He's the point guard. He's the point guard.
I don't know. He gets on everybody else.
I feel it, but let's look at the track record, though.
I agree.
He's kind of throwing everybody else under the bus.
I agree with that, but again, he's been able to not be held accountable for that.
But
too.
you can't. There's no way that you can blame anybody else when you have more fouls and points. They took them for granted. They felt like they can win no matter what, and that means that they lost games in the middle. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, you fed a hungry dog. And I think the biggest thing that happened today though was that Luka was shutting us up. We felt like they needed a little bit more, and then they got the production. And also it was definitely led by him. But I'm saying though, like once you get that extra production, it's easy.
Dinwiddie had 30.
Brunson had 28.
Dinwiddie was like 10 for 14. Like Dinwiddie only missed 4 shots pretty much.
Yeah.
Like his field goal percentage was sky high today.
Off the bench.
What is the decision on DeAndre? Do you add more? What felt like wasn't there? And if there is already enough there, we've seen them reach the finals last year. What do you do as a GM?
Because they got beat like this, this is why they're able to see that they need to actually take this next offseason series and see how they can actually become a better team. Because last season, they probably thought they got there, and they said, okay, we'll just make a few additions and we're good.
They didn't think about
The players developing and getting better.
better
Because
schemes.
Cam Johnson is still just a guy who's
3&D guy.
yeah, he's still the same. Mikal Bridges is still a good defense.
3&D.
Each guy they felt like they can reach it and they felt like they can win the next one because they learned from their first experience. But meanwhile, during that process, nobody got better.
No, Mikal Bridges didn't get better either.
Copy paste, but they need to get, and actually they got a little worse.
They copy and pasted pretty much, but they just gave DeAndre Ayton a little more support, but it didn't matter.
If I'm the Suns, I think that you can coach them up a little bit more. I think a couple players need to get better. And for DeAndre Ayton, you got to take a team contract now.
Like you're saying with coaching too. Monty Williams.
He's good. He's great.
But
he's all right, though.
He is, but again, back-to-back Coach of the Years.
Oh, yeah.
Did he deserve that?
Oh,
really?
shit.
At the end of the day now? If you're looking at the fucking team, they're getting
Wow.
back-to-back Coach of the Years. He's in the interview today. Oh,
Well,
I didn't get my guys ready
You're
today.
what sucks about it is that one guy's depreciating, which is one of your important
Yeah,
players,
but
Chris
they
Paul.
gave him $100 million.
I'm just saying, though, like,
They gave him
going
$100
forward,
million.
it's you have to rely on him. So they got to have some internal development. Cam Johnson has high potential, and so does Mikal. Why can't they come in every once in a while? And now DeAndre Ayton better come in with the team contract now if I'm a GM.
I think for me, low-key, Mikal Bridges is a little bit more of the disappointment for me.
Yeah, he's definitely a disappointment.
Why? Because he was a runner-up defensive player of the year
No.
candidate, or just because he has a higher ceiling and he's not tapping into it?
There you go. That's
part.
the second part.
'Cause when I look at him and I see him on the court,
Uh-huh.
I can see, okay, yeah, he is athletic. He's on. And then this series, Luka had him looking like a bum on defense.
Yeah.
If he can be a little bit more consistent, he can be a Marcus Smart for the Suns, and it's just he's producing
But
less.
I
than
think
him.
he could be
That's
better
just-
than Marcus
yeah.
Smart
I know
as
that
a
he
scorer,
can be better,
though.
but I'm saying if he gets just a little bit better, a little bit more efficient, and a little bit more aggressive, he could be as good as Marcus
he has.
Smart.
This guy can average like 25, like Kawhi type shit. Like I
I think
think
his body's too small for that, but
not like I'm not saying the same style of
He has to
play.
be like-
Realistically, there should be more than 13 points to that man's name.
he should be a lot better. It sucks. Gifted.
He can average 22.
Yeah,
me.
no, he could. If he's averaging
He can
20,
get
they're
there.
cool.
The next thing that you have to do, bro, is I guess you pretty much have to convince DeAndre to just like, hey man, you know you don't deserve this 180 million, right? That's the first thing you got to do.
He should
Pretty
not
much-
need to be
You
convinced
pretty
of
much
that.
got to be able to. You pretty much got to convince him to like, hey man, you're the piece for this team. You're the big man for this
Hell
team.
no. That's just gonna give him a bigger contract if he's that
I'm
important.
sorry.
But we
I'm
need
saying,
to take
be
this.
realistic, bro. You shit the bed,
Oh,
but you're still good,
being
and we
realistic-
need you.
being
What do you want to
realistic-
do?
Being realistic, they're kind of stuck with DA. They are forced to ride it out the next however many years
So then
with that team.
believe-
Cam is the next draft pick that has to they really need to definitely buy in on, because aside from DA, if this is all DA is, fine, fuck it, that's all DA
It's
is.
not-
We
well,
know what Devin
yeah.
Booker can do. Mikal Bridges, who knows? We know what Jay Crowder's here for. We know what Elfrid Payton's here for.
Better,
Next thing to really focus on and develop would definitely have to be Cam Johnson.